ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹಳೆಯ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಟ್. ನನಗೇನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸು, ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸರಿನಾ? ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಯಾರ ಕಡೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಯಾರಾದ್ರು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಹೋಗೋದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬರ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೋದಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅವ್ರ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ನನಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಸಿಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಪಿನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನೇ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ, ಸರಿನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರ ಕಡೆನೋ? ರೈಟ್. ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ in the distribution of light energy due to the overlapping of two or more waves is called interference. There will be redistribution of light energy. There will be redistribution of light energy if two or more light waves overlap on one another during the propagation. And this redistribution of light energy, or in other words, also known as modification of light energy due to the overlapping of two or more light waves, is called interference. Mute ಮಾಡಿ. A condition for good interference ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಪುರಾಣ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಪುರಾಣ ನನಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪುರಾಣ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಬರೆಯೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Sources should be coherent. Sources should be coherent is one of the major conditions for the two or more light waves to overlap and obtain the interference fringe. Sources are said to be coherent when they emit continuous light waves having same frequency or same wavelength or both, and having same intensity and zero or constant phase difference between the two light waves, and they have to travel along the same direction. Two light waves should be continuously propagating along the same direction, such that they should have same frequency, same wavelength, same amplitude, same intensity, and zero phase or constant phase difference. If these conditions are satisfied, then the sources are said to be coherent. For the interference pattern to obtain, the sources should be coherent. This is one of the major conditions. When the two sources are said to be coherent, then only we get the interference pattern. So coherent sources are ಹೇಗೆ ಪಡಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. So we have different methods of obtaining coherent sources. So one is by double slit. So Young's double slit experiment ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ನೀವು. Young's double slit experiment ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So in case of Young's double slit experiment, a source is kept equidistant from two pinholes. When it falls on two pinholes, two spherical wavefronts will be generated on the other side of two pinholes, and these two spherical wavefronts generated out of the two pinholes will act as two virtual sources, and they are said to be coherent because they are originated from the same single source. And this is one of the method of obtaining two coherent sources, and that is by double slit, and this is called division of wavefront. Division of wavefront. And the other method is Lloyd's single mirror method. There will be one real monochromatic source. Light from this real monochromatic source is made to fall on a mirror, and that mirror will reflect the light, and that reflecting light will act as another source of light, S2. S1 is the real source of monochromatic light. Mirror light reflected from the mirror will act as the virtual source S2, and these S1 and S2 will act as the two coherent sources. And there will be certain amount of phase difference as well as path difference because they are separated by certain distance. Next we have Fresnel's biprism. Fresnel's biprism. And in case of Fresnel biprism, experiment ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಲ್ಲ, Fresnel's biprism experiment ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Fresnel's biprism. So in case of Fresnel biprism, light from a single monochromatic source S is made to fall on the biprism. When light falls on the biprism, it will be refracted, and those refracted light rays when produced backwards will meet at S1 and S2, and therefore S1 and S2 are said to be the two virtual images or virtual sources of real monochromatic source S. And therefore S1 and S2 are considered as the two coherent sources. And also microwaves can also be used in order to produce interference fringes since they act as the coherent sources. Other than two independent laser sources, no other two sources will act as the coherent sources. So in the entire explanation of producing coherent sources, we have considered only one single real source. But in the last case, two independent laser sources. Audio mute ಮಾಡಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು. ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ. ಆಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋನ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ. ರಶ್ಮಿ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡು. ಸಿಂಧು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ರೆಡ್ಮಿ, ಶಿವರಾಜ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋನ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಸೌಂಡ್ ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನೀವೇನಾರ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ನೆಸಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋನ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋನ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದೆ ಅದು. ರೈಟ್, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಮನೇಲಾಗ್ತೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋನ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ರೈಟ್, two independent laser sources having same frequency can also be used as the two coherent sources. Except lasers, no other source can be used in this way. So ಎರಡು source ಆಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, because their frequency will never remain the same, right? So ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಲೇಸರ್ ನ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ 99.99% ಸೇಮ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಲೇಸರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕೂಡ we can obtain the interference fringes. And important conditions to obtain a good interference pattern. The first and foremost important condition is the sources must be coherent. The sources must be coherent. Then light emitted by the two sources must be monochromatic, should have single frequency. Light emitted by two sources should be monochromatic in the sense they should have same wavelength. Then light from two sources must propagate in the same direction. Light has to move in the same direction. and distance between the two sources must be small. Distance between two sources must be small. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. S1 S2 are the two sources. S is the single source. Right, ಇಲ್ಲಿ biprism ಏನು? S is the single source. Light from the single source is incident on this biprism. It gets refracted and interference fringes will be obtained between the region P and Q. When light from P and Q is produced backwards, it meets at S1 and S2, and therefore S1 and S2 will act as two virtual sources of light. Between S1 and S2, the distance should be small. In the sense, small d should be small. And also, capital D should be very large. Capital D is the distance between the slits and the screen. Capital D will be the distance between slits and screen. Distance between coherent sources and the screen must be large. This is capital D. And this is small d. Small d should be small and capital D should be large. Big D should be big, small d should be small. And light should be continuously emitted from both the sources. Light should be continuously emitted. So these are the important conditions in order to obtain a very good interference pattern. Right? ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ. We have two different types of waves. A wave is a sort of disturbance. The propagation of disturbance from one point to another point will be in the form of wave motion. And waves are of two different types. One is the traveling wave or wave in motion. The other is standing wave. A wave is said to be in motion when it propagates from one point to another point with respect to time and with respect to position. It is said to be standing wave if its position remains stationary, if its position remains the same with respect to time. Standing wave, when two waves of same frequency, same amplitude, they overlap, when they propagate in opposite directions, and they overlap, resulting in the standing wave or stationary waves. Now, basic setup of interference, and we will have constructive interference and destructive interference. Interference is said to be constructive when, so in order to explain the constructive and destructive interference, we have to consider the type of wave. Both longitudinal as well as transverse waves exhibit this interference pattern. Longitudinal wave is the wave in which the particles of the medium vibrate along the direction of its propagation. Example, sound waves. Transverse waves or electromagnetic waves are the waves in which the particles of the medium vibrate at right angles to the propagation of the wave. Example, light wave. Light wave is the electromagnetic wave or transverse wave. Light wave and electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature, since the particles vibrate at right angles to its propagation. Sound wave is longitudinal wave, since the particles of the medium vibrate in a direction of the propagation of wave, in the direction of propagation of the wave. So here in the diagram, we have considered almost longitudinal wave, or no, it is not longitudinal because they have mentioned as crests and troughs. In case of longitudinal, it will be compressions and rarefactions. Longitudinal waves are characterized by compressions and rarefactions. transverse waves are characterized by crests and troughs. They will be alternate, right? If in case of a transverse wave, if the crest of one wave overlap on the crest of the other wave, or if trough of one wave overlap on the trough of the other wave, then the interference pattern is said to be constructive. So the two waves are mentioned. One is represented by the continuous line and the other is represented by the dotted line. Right? Both the waves are overlapped in such a way that their crests are overlapping and their troughs are overlapping. And hence, the amplitude of resulting wave has been increased. If A is the amplitude of each overlapping wave, therefore, the amplitude of the resultant wave is 2A, plus or minus 2A. And therefore, the amplitude and hence the intensity of the resultant wave is said to be increased. Since the intensity is directly proportional to square of the amplitude, the intensity is said to be increased by 4 times the intensity of each individual wave. In case of constructive interference. Similarly, in case of destructive interference, the crest of one wave is overlapping at the trough of the other, or vice versa. I have considered two waves, one is continuous and the other is dotted. That continuous is wave 1 and the dotted is wave 2. Crest of wave 1 is overlapping with the trough of wave 2, or the crest of wave 2 is overlapping on the trough of wave 2, sorry, wave 1, and therefore their amplitudes gets cancelled if A1 is equal to A2. If A1 is amplitude of wave 1, A2 is amplitude of wave 2. If both A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, then because of this, their amplitudes gets cancelled. A1 minus A2 is equal to A minus A, that will be equal to 0. And hence, the resultant amplitude is 0. Since the resultant amplitude is 0, the intensity...
Sir, screen ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷದಿಂದ ಹಂಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಹೇಳಷ್ಟಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಈಗ
ಹಾ, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ?
ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆಲ್ಲ?
ಇವಾಗ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇದನ್ನ. Now consider two waves, wave 1, wave 2. Wave 1 is the dotted one, wave 2 is the continuous one. So crest of wave 1 falls on the crest of wave 2, and the trough of wave 1 falls on the trough of wave 2, and therefore the amplitude will be doubled. The amplitude will be doubled. The amplitude will add up. So in case of this region, it will be A1 plus A1 or A1 plus A2. If A1 is the amplitude of wave 1, A2 is the amplitude of wave 2, then in this portion it will be A1 plus A2, and in this portion it is minus of A1 plus A2, as A1 minus A2. And therefore, if A1 is equal to A2, for this portion it will be A1, A plus A to A, and for this portion it is minus A, it is minus 2A. I'll represent ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ. This is the resultant wave due to the overlapping of wave 1 and wave 2. The amplitude is 2A and minus 2A, in the sense plus or minus 2A. That is, the amplitude of the resultant wave is doubled due to the overlapping of this type. In the sense, if crest of one falls on the crest of the other and trough of one falls on the trough of the other, then the amplitude will be increased and thereby the intensity of the wave is said to be increased, and therefore the interference pattern is said to be constructive. Similarly, in the second case, observe the second diagram. Wave 1 and wave 2 are propagating such that the crest of one wave falls over the trough of the other, and vice versa, because of which their amplitudes gets cancelled. If A1 is equal to A2 again, A1 is equal. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಮ್ಮ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು. ನಾನೇ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನೇ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾರ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಾ? ನಾನೇ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಮೈ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲ. No. Right. In the second diagram, the amplitude of one wave will cancel the amplitude of the other wave because the crest of one falls in the trough of the other. Their amplitudes gets cancelled each other if A1 is equal to A2. Therefore, the amplitude of the resultant wave is 0. Since the amplitude is 0, the intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude, and therefore the intensity is 0, and hence the interference pattern is termed as destructive interference. Now, let us study wave front ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂಚೂರು ನೋಡೋಣ. What is the wave front ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ we will have different types of wave fronts, right? We will have different types of wave fronts, and these wave fronts depend on the nature of the source that we have considered. The source is a point source. If it is a point source, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ತರದೊಂದು point source ಅನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ at O. If this point source is kept in a homogeneous isotropic medium, the light source, that is point source, is kept in a homogeneous isotropic medium, then light will propagate in all directions. Light will propagate equally, or light will propagate equally in all directions, and therefore the distance traveled by the light in such a medium in a given time will be equal. And therefore, so here we have mentioned A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 as the points that has traveled by the light in all directions in a given interval of time t1. So if we join all these points A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, etc., we get a circle. We get a circle if the light is kept on a plane surface. If light is kept on a plane surface, joining all these A's will give you a circle, and therefore the wavefront is said to be a circular wavefront. Right? If this point O, that is point source, is considered in space, then light will travel in all directions. If the medium is isotropic, light will travel in all directions. If that is the case, then line joining or the locus of all those points will give you a sphere instead of a circle. And therefore, such a sphere is called the spherical wavefront. Spherical wavefront or the circular wavefront is due to the point source. Similarly, if the light is from an extended source, the light is from a linear source, example, light from a slit. If light is coming out of a slit, light will spread uniformly in all directions and will travel equal distances in all directions if the medium is homogeneous and isotropic. And at a given instant of time, light will travel equal distances, and if we join all those points, we get a cylinder. And therefore, due to a linear source, the wavefront obtained will be cylindrical wavefront. Due to point source, light will be spherical wavefront. Due to extended or linear source, light will be cylindrical. A part of spherical or cylindrical wavefront, a part of spherical or cylindrical wavefront is called plane wavefront. In the sense, if the source is kept at an infinite distance, if the source is kept at an infinite distance, then the light source or the wavefront is said to be plane. Light source is kept at an infinite distance. Light from such an infinite distance will give you a large sphere or a large cylinder. A small portion of sphere or cylinder will appear to be plane, and therefore a small portion of that wavefront is considered as plane wavefront. For example, for us, sun appears to be small even though it is larger than the planet sun. Because of the large distance, sun appears to be small, point size. Consider the distance between sun and earth as the radius. Consider the distance between sun and earth as the radius. And if we draw a huge sphere for this radius, sun will be at the center of that sphere, then light, a portion of that spherical wavefront for us appears to be plane. Therefore, for larger distances, spherical or cylindrical wavefronts are considered to be plane wavefronts. Next, principle of superposition. Principle of superposition ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ derivation ಅದು next time. We are running out of time, just 7 minutes time. Okay. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ division of current sources ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. Division of wavefront and division of amplitude are the two methods used to produce current sources. Division of wavefront ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ. Example, Young's double slit experiment. Young's double slit experiment is an example of division of wavefront. Division of amplitude is ನಾವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದವರು ಯಾವುದದು Lloyd's mirror. In the sense, light from two reflecting sources or the one of division of amplitude. So division of amplitude example, right? A part of incident light will be reflected at the upper surface, and a part will be reflected at the lower surface of a glass plate. In case of division of wave, and in case of division of wavefront, the wave trains are derived from the single wavefront, and therefore they have traveled unequal distances, and therefore their amplitudes will be different. Though their amplitudes are different, they will have a constant phase difference. And in case of division of wavefront, the amplitude will remain the same. Whereas since they are at equal distances from the source, their amplitudes are the same, and will have a constant phase difference or zero phase difference otherwise. May have zero phase difference or constant phase difference between the two waves. In case of division of wavefront. In case of division of amplitude, since they are derived from the single wavefront, travel unequal distances, and therefore their amplitudes are different but have constant phase difference. Right? And this is about the different methods of producing
The connection isn't strong enough.
current source. So next we have principle of superposition. The principle states that the number of waves traveling simultaneously in a medium behave independently of each other. Number of waves traveling simultaneously in a given medium, they behave independent of each other, and the net displacement at any instant of time is equal to the sum of individual displacements due to all the waves. In the sense, if y1, y2, y3, y4, etc. are the displacements of individual waves, if y1, y2, y3, y4, etc. are the displacements of individual waves, then according to the principle of superposition of waves, the resultant displacement is the sum of displacements of all these waves, and therefore y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus etc. So for simplicity, we have considered only two waves. We have considered only two waves, y1 and y2. Let y1 is equal to a sine omega t, y2 is equal to a sine omega t plus x. Let x is the path difference between the two waves. But omega is the angular frequency. Where omega is 2 pi n or 2 pi f. And f is equal to v by lambda, and therefore y is equal to a sine 2 pi v by lambda into t. ಈ expression ಅನ್ನು if ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. y1 is equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda into v, 2 pi by lambda into vt, and y2 equals a sine 2 pi by lambda into vt plus x, where x is the difference or the path difference between y1 and y2. Where a is the amplitude of each wave, lambda is the wavelength Again, both the waves have same amplitude, same wavelength, traveling with same velocity along the same direction. So beginning ಅಲ್ಲಿ conditions for interference ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ conditions ಈ ಎರಡು equation ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ clear ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ conditions ಕೂಡ satisfy ಆಗಿದೆ. We have considered two waves of same amplitude, same wavelength, same frequency, traveling with same velocity. Right? ನಾಳೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದು. ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ ಹೊಡ್ಕೋಣ. ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್, ಬೇಗ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬರೀ 1 ನಿಮಿಷ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಬೇಗ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ ಹೊಡ್ಕೋಣ, ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಶೈಲಜಾ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ. ಶಾಂತ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಂಧು ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇಗ. ಸೌಜನ್ಯ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇಗ. ಬರೀ ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ, ಫೋಟೋ ಕಾಣ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಆರ್ತಿ, ಪೂಜಾ, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆಡಿಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ರೈಟ್, ಬೇಗ ಫೋಟೋ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, ಬರೀ ಹೆಸರುಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆ, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಗ್ಯಾಲಕ್ಸಿ ಅವ್ರ ಕೈ ಅಡ್ಡ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಗ್ಯಾಲಕ್ಸಿ J2 ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಯಾರಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ನಾಳೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾರು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಾ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ? ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಾ? ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಮ್ಮ? ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರ ಯಾರಾದ್ರು?
ಹಲೋ,
ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಮ್ಮ? ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರ? ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರ? ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? ನಾಳೆ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ?
ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ತಗೋತಾನೆ.
tomorrow at the same time, sir, class.
ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳ 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳ?
Okay, sir.